I've never felt as attached to Las Vegas as I do now, and I think 1 October certainly made me feel attached to Las Vegas. It's an overwhelming sense of community pride.
Well, all of us in the Valley refer to the tragedy as 1 October. The name helped create a rallying point for our community to heal and remember.
The moniker 1 October was created days after the shooting, and there is a story behind it. In the middle of unspeakable horror, the Clark County Coroner decided, well, he was not going to let the gunman forever define that day. So he came up with a name.
It is a beautiful late Sunday afternoon in the desert. And inside
On his way home after the Golden Knights preseason game on October 1st, 2017, Clark County Coroner John Fudenberg received a phone call from his staff.
I could actually hear the gunfire through the police radio when I got the call. That was the moment my life changed forever.
For days, Fudenberg and his staff struggled as they began the overwhelming task of identifying victims and notifying their families.
We serve the people who have lost a loved one, and how we deal with them, how we treat them is something that they're going to last, it's going to last with them the rest of their life.
It was in that spirit he had an idea as he was talking on the phone to an FBI agent.
We were about to release and produce our first report that would be made public, and I wanted to have a consistent name for the incident. The thought was, and everybody agreed, that during the first anniversary or the 20th anniversary, we want something to memorialize the day and memorialize how our community came together versus the terrible incident that happened.
The next morning, on October 6th, he talked to then Commissioner Steve Sisolak.
About 2 minutes after I had that conversation, then Chairman Sisolak walked out to a press briefing and said,
the official name that which this tragedy will be referred to will be the number 1 October.
Get a little, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but you get a little teary-eyed just thinking about it, because it was a emotional time.
The moniker 1 October, forever helping define the moment. It's a day to remember the 58 lives lost and the hundreds injured, and also a day to remember how we fought back, proving our bond as a community is what triumphed.
I've never felt as attached to Las Vegas as I do now, and I think 1 October certainly made me feel attached to Las Vegas. It's an overwhelming sense of community pride. If we continue to pull together as a community, it honors those who have been impacted, and I think that's what's important. Let's not forget as a community how we are today and how close we are and how strong we are, and let's even get stronger. I think that's what the most important message that I'd like to send.
Yeah, what a great message that is.
Yeah, we all feel, we share that sentiment that we all came together, and a lot of people think of Las Vegas as this big international playground, but that day showed us so much, didn't it?
In a lot of ways, it helped define us as a community of hope and love.
Right.
And we know so many people there in the coroner's office. They went through it. In fact, many of them, 10 of them, have these tattoos saying "Coroner Strong." And also, on Fudenberg's desk, check this out here. This is the handwritten note from his assistant. He keeps it to this day. It marks the exact date, you see there, October 4th, and the time that the staff identified all of the victims and also notified their families. It is certainly a somber reminder, but it's also a source of pride for how the staff handled the horror of that day.
Yeah, they did an amazing job.
Yes, they did.